Welcome to the Andy Ruther Show. Here is your host, Andy Ruther.
Welcome to the Andy Ruther Show. That is me, Andy Ruther, coming to you on this late January 8th from Cincinnati, Ohio, in the 513. I'm repping tonight. Got the Reds hat on. I don't put the Reds hat on that much anymore, but I'm repping it tonight in this cold winter night. It's cold, guys. It's like 10 degrees. Really cold now. Got a lot of snow the past week. It's really cold here. This snow is going to be here for a while. We get more on Friday. So it's full winter, man. It's full winter here. I think I like the winter. That's what I was thinking about that today. I was like, man, I think I kind of like the winter. Do I like it more than the summer? Maybe. It's just so humid and sticky and ugh. That's how I feel. When you walk around, you just feel ugh. Ugh. You know when you feel like that? You like eat too much food and you're like, ugh. Yeah, I don't know. That's the feeling. Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't know, guys. It's late. It's 11 o'clock here, but I'm feeling it. I wanna do the show tonight. We got the cold weather here. We got the snow. We're in the heart of winter, and I just can't stop watching these videos of the wildfires, the fires in California. You know, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. I've talked to a few friends out there. It's just, it's apocalyptic, is how I would describe it. It's something you would read out of an Old Testament, right? It's like biblical. It's insane. Seeing it, just seeing it, is just, I don't know. Maybe it hits harder for me because I lived there for 13 years. I started watching it last night, and I was showing Brittany, and I just like it hits like, guys, this was my home for 13 years. I'm 43. I entered the real world at 22, 23. So I've only had the real world experience for 20 years. Most of that was in Los Angeles. That was my home. That's where I grew friendships. I partied. I got to experience so many great things, the highs and lows of living in Los Angeles. The beauty, the just absolute beauty of the landscape, of the geography of Los Angeles, of California. So it hits home for me seeing all this. It's just terrible. It's just absolutely terrible. And I watch these videos. It's like this one here. I see, of the Palisades at Will Rogers State Beach, and uh, where is it? I had it up here. Let's pull this back up. It's like, come on, can we do this? Can we get can we get this figured out, Andy? Can we get this figured out? Okay, let's start this over. It's like I used to run this path all the time, man. I used to run this all the time. I used to bike ride. Like when I was going through shit, when I had stuff on my mind or I needed a release, I would hop on my bike, especially at night. It was so comforting to have a bike path for miles from Venice Beach all the way here to which the bike path ends at Palisades. You go Venice, Santa Monica, Palisades. And then it ends right before Malibu or right at Malibu. This was my jam right here through this beach. I worked at kids camp here, summer of 2012, right here at Will Rogers State Beach. It's just I don't know. It's depressing, man. It's depressing to see because I have so many memories of that, and they're good memories. The coastline of California, the beaches and the long beaches along that area there's nothing like it, man. There's nothing like it. It's pristine, it's beautiful, and, a lot of stuff comes with it, you get the homeless, or you get the other stuff, you get the but I'm not even thinking about that right now. I'm just talking about the vibes that would give me, all positive. So I was just showing Brittany this last night. I was like, "This is tough to see." It's just it's burnt out. Malibu, some of the restaurants I loved in Malibu, just gone, just gone. It's like this one I saw today of the Palisades, more inland. Dude, it looks like a war zone. This looks like Ukraine. That's what this looks like. Ukraine with palm trees, just completely burnt to a crisp. It's absolutely depressing. And I think there's a lot of blame to probably go around on a lot of things, but it's just sad. It's sad because from a geographic and weather, like all that stuff, there's nothing like the weather of living in Southern California. That's like the one thing I miss the most about not being out there. That the weather is just pristine. It's immaculate. And it's sad to see all this. It's just I don't know. And I don't know how it started. I don't know. Everybody's gonna debate, everybody's gonna politicize it. They already are. Again, I think there's a lot of blame to go around. It's just sad. It's just sad. And I'm sure I probably wanna bet a lot of this could have been prevented. Um, that's my take. I think a lot of it could have been prevented. I think, it's kinda known at this point, a lot of money is wasted by the elected officials, no matter where you live. A lot of money's wasted, and it's just sad to see these places go up in flames. And dude, people like if I was thinking about this, if I was out there and I had to evacuate, I don't know where I'd go. I don't have any close family out there. I didn't. I don't know where I'd go. I don't know what I'd do. And there's a lot of people who don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. And it's just I don't know. It's just it's there's so many levels to this, in my opinion, because it is Hollywood. It is the entertainment capital. It is Southern California. And there's all this depressing acreage just being burnt to a crisp. It's again apocalyptic, biblical. But then at the same token, there's like a satirical comedy element to this because I'll see somebody I know from LA and I'll look at their Instagram stories, and one will be a sincere post about pray for the victims of the fire, everybody get out safe. And then the next Instagram story that they followed up with is like, see me live at this comedy show. Like they don't see, they don't see like that's comedy within itself. Like, hey, pray for the victims of the Palisades, pray for everybody who lost their homes, pray for all the animals that are being burnt. But now check out my OnlyFans. Like that's what I'm saying. Like there's a comedic element to all this because it's Los Angeles and it's the industry and it's the city that creates all the entertainment. There is a comedic level to this. Thoughts and prayers for everybody who lost all their belongings. Now go click on this and I'll show you my titties. Like there's weird stuff here. There's weird stuff happening. And then there's people who wish and like gloat about celebrities losing their homes, which is weird too. There's people who are like, yeah, that's what they get, the rich people losing your homes. You're rich, which I've never really understood. Like, why are you happy that somebody loses their home? I'm not happy about it. Like, there's some people who are happy that these things happen. Why would you be happy that somebody loses their belongings? And to me, that's the worst part. It's not the material possessions, it's the personal items. I was talking about that tonight with Brittany. I was saying, you know what would kill me? What would really crush me emotionally would be losing things my parents had that I have now, or like journals I've written, or like the personalized book my mom made of our road trips together, photos, the personal items that actually mean something, not a car, not a television, not any of that stuff. The stuff that actually have meaning, the stuff that's going to get you emotional, that stuff. That would crush me, man. That would absolutely crush me. If a fire burned down my house and I lost all this stuff and I lost some of these pictures and I lost some of my memories, dude, that would crush me. But then you go on Twitter and people are like, yeah, I'm glad your house burned down. Deal with that, Hollywood. You're like, what? What, dude? Dude, you might not like somebody. You might not agree with their politics. I don't want all their childhood memories erased. That's pretty messed up. That's what happens now in tragedy. People they wanna gloat and they wanna take a side and then they wanna argue. And then I'm like, well, that's really doesn't help. My house just burned down and my dog just burnt alive in a fire and I lost every single memory I've ever had. But cool, you guys can argue about it for the next 3 weeks. I can't imagine being there right now. That's the truth though. I can't imagine. I've talked to a few people who are leaving. It's bumper to bumper traffic. It doesn't seem like it's getting any better. These fires are popping up out of nowhere in different pockets. You almost wonder, are people lighting these on fire? There's a million conspiracies happening. And then here I am just sitting in Cincinnati, man. I'm just sitting here chilling. What's crazy to me? It's like I'm on a different planet. That's how I feel when I see this. That's how I feel. I walk outside tonight, put Brittany's car in the garage. There's 9 inches of snow, mountains of snow that everybody's plowed just up. It's 10 degrees, and then their whole city's burning. I feel like I have no relation to that anymore. It's crazy. And I feel fortunate, that's the truth. Like, I'm lucky that I don't have to go through all this, that I don't have to just pick up my belongings, hope my house doesn't burn down or apartment or whatever it is. It's scary. I feel trapped. I'd feel overwhelmed. That's not a good feeling. But I just feel so far removed from that. And probably because I'm buried in my own life and dealing with my own stuff and all those things. But that just hit me tonight. I was like, wow, it's like I'm on a different universe. But then I hop on Twitter and I see it all. And then you see the girl who's like, yeah, sorry about the fire. Click this link to look at my butthole. So messed up. It's true though. You see it. It's ridiculous. It's such a weird town, man. It's so fake. LA is so fake. It really is. It really is such a fake city, which obviously comes from the entertainment world and all that, and it makes sense why it's so fake. But gosh, it is so fake. I don't miss that. That's what I talk about what I love so most about it. I love the weather, the geography. I used to love when I could run along the beach in January and I'm shirtless and it's 60 degrees. And then off in the distance, I could see the snow capped mountains. And I'd always say, how cool is this? I'm shirtless running along the beach and I can see a snow capped mountain. And if I wanted to, I could go skiing today. So cool. That was great. Love that. But then the fakeness, man. Oh, I don't think I ever could have settled down out there. Just the relationships are all so fake and everybody's looking for the next best thing. And I fell prey to that. I was part of that. I was never satisfied. Oh, I can find a girl who's hotter. I can find a girl who's got a better personality. And you're constantly playing this game of upgrade. You're trying to hit that upgrade button nonstop until you just have nothing and you die miserable and alone. That's how I felt. It's just sad. It's just sad. I just hope, everybody gets out, gets safe, and hopefully they can get this under control and hopefully this is a wake up call and things that they have to do to minimize these fires in the future. But again, I feel like I'm in a bubble. Like I'm in my own little bubble in Cincinnati. And look, we all know what's going to happen. I know this now that I own a home. The insurance premiums are already through the roof, and people are going to be battling with insurance companies on paying for their burnt down houses, and this is going to be a disaster. It's going to be a disaster, man. And the truth is, with that stuff being ever present, the wildfires and other parts of the country like Florida and the Carolinas with the hurricanes, I don't know, man. Maybe I made the right move to move back to Ohio. Like I think I did, but that's just another added element to it. It's just you're dealing with that. You're dealing with that stuff all the time. What it seems. I was looking back at my pictures from November of 2018 when there was bad wildfires out in Malibu. And ironically enough, I hopped on my bicycle from Venice and went all the way through Palisades to the edge of Malibu, which now a lot of that stuff's burnt down. It's gone, which I hate. Like for me, I'm a very nostalgic person. You don't lose, you can't lose a memory you have. You can't lose those good feelings, but it stinks to know that you can't go back there to relive that. Like, there is an Italian restaurant that closed in Venice. It was a casualty of COVID, Siena Trattoria on Washington Boulevard, right there where the Venice Pier is, and that's my favorite, Italian restaurant in Los Angeles, and it was always a stop for my mom and I, and my buddy Drew, we'd go there, and I'd have friends in town, we'd go there, like, that was my spot because we could walk, it was, the pier was, like, half a mile from my apartment, you'd walk down to dinner, and it was just such a good vibe, and they would all sing That's Amore, and it was just so fun, and the food was delicious, and the bountiful portions, and everything was great, it was just a damn, it's just it was like an well-oiled machine of a restaurant, and it was closed forever because of COVID. And I'll be honest, like, that still eats me, man, right here. It's not where my heart is. My heart's right here. Right here, it eats me, man. I don't know. Like, I hate that anytime I go back to LA, I can't go there, especially with that being the final spot, the final restaurant we'd always go to together, my mom and I. That you know what I'm saying? Like that's a part of me and a part of her, and it's just it stinks that it's gone. And that's kinda how I feel when I see these fires. I'm like, "Man, this restaurant is gone," or "That landmark is just burnt to a crisp." Again, 13 years of my life, man. Lots of good memories. Way more good memories, way more positive vibes than negative. That's why I don't just diss California. A lot of people I know it's a hip thing to do, especially where I live here, and it's a trendy thing to do, and the politics is one of the main reasons, and the truth is I never really liked a lot of the politics of California even when I lived there. You just like that was it. You know, you just you put up with certain things because you love the weather, you enjoy so many other things, but I'm not just gonna sit here and trash the whole state because again, I think I matured into a young man, if we're gonna say it like that. I don't know. Am I mature? Probably not. So it just sucks. It just sucks to see all this stuff happen. And Venice Beach was my jam, and it's still there. I got the old video. I'm gonna show you guys of the fire. Remember this? Speaking of fires, remember this? This is in Savage Town. Look at this. This is a homeless person started this fire. This is my old apartment complex. Look at this thing burning. Look at this. Down there on Mildred Avenue. This is what was left. Mildred Avenue down there in Venice where I used to live. 12 years of my life I lived at that apartment building. 12 years. So and that's the thing, like, I don't know who started these fires. Were they brush fires? The homeless people started them? Why homeless people are starting fires? Come on. Why are you starting fires? And I'm sure, and I already see, I'm sure there's gonna be a million conspiracies about all this. I guarantee it. About who started it, what happened, are we ever gonna know the truth? Dude, it's so crazy with the internet now. You like don't know what's true and what's not true. I know I'm not the only person who feels that way. Just our exposure to information nonstop. And I think that's kind of in a way what like I don't know who, but I think a lot of powers that be want the truth blurred so you don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I don't have time. Like, I got a kid. I got another kid on the way. I don't have time to investigate. I can't be an investigative journalist. I don't know. I don't know what's true, what happened. I don't know on a lot of this stuff. You're just trying to live your life, you know. We uh we have another kid coming next week, so I got that on my mind. Yeah, that's kind of a big deal, right? Baby number 2, we have a date because she's getting a C-section, and it's in 10 days, guys. Help me out here. 10 days. So any last minute decisions or things I got to do, I got to get them done. So on one hand, I'm paying attention to these fires. I just did a long rant about it. We all know, again, it means a lot to me that part of the country. But I'm also like, yeah, make it out safely. But I got a little girl that's going to be here, ETA January 18th. So I got some stuff to do, like last minute stuff. It's like packing for a trip last minute, you know? Gotta finish painting a couple things, gotta hang a couple things, gotta get this room in order, gotta wash off the old baby car seat, gotta do this and the old, clean off the new bottles and blah, 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 blah. I don't know, guys. Yeah. So gotta do that, but it's exciting. We're gonna have another little girl, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we don't have to be in the NICU this time. It was not easy last time. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm just hoping and praying here I get some divine intervention that we're not going to have to be in the NICU because this baby will be a little early again, just like Isla. Isla was 37 weeks, and baby number two will also be 37 weeks. Full term pregnancy, FYI, for those who don't know, is 40. So she has some higher blood pressure. So they do the inducement early just for Brittany's health. So she's been mostly healthy this pregnancy, but the blood pressure started to come back. So we're gonna go in 37 weeks again, and we wanted to keep that. We wanted to keep the little bun in the oven as long as we could. We wanted to keep Letitia in there as long as we could. Shaquifa, Darnia, Chipikipi. I don't know what that was. Salandra, Cleopatra, Daria, Elishabeth, not Elizabeth, Elishabeth. I don't know what I'm saying, guys. We don't have a name picked. Clearly, we don't have a name picked. She's got some ideas. I got some ideas, and we'll see what happens. Let's just figure it out. Let's wing it, man. Baby, come out. Let's wing it. But January 18th, that's where our ETA is here. I'm excited. I'm excited to be surrounded by girls. I told Brittany today I had a serious moment. I said, today's the 5-year anniversary of my mom dying. And I said, it really is the circle of life. I believe in that. I said, January is not always easy for me. And I shouldn't say it's just not. It's not easy because I relive a lot of things, especially at the end. So it's a tough month, especially the first few weeks of the month. And I said it's a circle of life because my mom died in January, and now we're gonna give life in January, which I think is really cool. I think it's really cool, and I almost feel like there's an intervention with my mom, and that this happens in the same way with Isla being born mid-February. Again, it's around this time period, and I've always said I believe my mom sent Isla. I really believe that. Just her personality and her looking like me and just everything about her. I fully believe that my mom had a hand in that, and I always will. And that's what I was texting Brittany today, that this is the circle of life, and this is just how it works. And I'm not, I'm sad that obviously with the 5-year anniversary of my mom dying, but I said, we found out today on the anniversary of her death that the scheduling of when we're going to have a new life and a new kid and happiness and grief, which then turns into happiness and all those things. And I texted her that, and I followed it up with something. And she goes, "Only you would do that. Only you would say this." And I said, I was saying how I look forward to we do a group hug with Isla and how we're making the group hug bigger. And I was saying these things, and she's at work, and I guess she said I was getting teary-eyed and emotional when you were texting these things, and then it quickly ended because I just said, "I just hope the 3 of you are never on your period together." And I meant that too. I meant that too. I'm trying to emotionally prepare for 3 girls and me. two, mom and daughter, and then you, like, that's manageable. Now I'm like completely getting outnumbered here. Three girls, one dad. I'm in the minority here. I'm the one black kid in the class. Now it's probably not as bad as there's 30 other white kids, but you get my point. So I made that joke, and of course I had to lighten the mood a little. You know me, I always got to do a little comedy with the serious stuff, but I had to lighten the mood. But I do believe in that. I do believe in the circle of life, and there's death, and then there's life, and it's just it's it's been that way since the beginning of time, since forever. And that's the approach I have to take. And this year was probably the best growing year for me as far as coping with everything. It's crazy because I'm 5 years into it, which a lot of people are like, "Come on, Ruther, you're 5 years in, man." But but grief is not easy, and time does heal wounds, though. Time is definitely a healing power, and this was my first Christmas where I didn't bawl missing my parents at all, right? Like, I didn't have a moment where I was just really crying hard, and, I probably the same way for this is the first this is the first, time I didn't really bawl my eyes out about my mom. Doesn't mean I'm not missing her, for the record, and doesn't mean I didn't get emotional or teary-eyed and cry a little, but it wasn't like the heavy, powerful, just overtakes your body crying, which I had never experienced until my mom died, and then subsequently after my dad died. Like, I had never had the, like, full body, you lose control crying until my mom died, where it's so powerful when it's done, you feel like you did a workout. You feel like you just ran a marathon because it's so cleansing, like, emotionally, and I think it's good. But the truth is, I think if you cry like that as an adult, you probably need to, and it's healthy, and I'd always sleep good to be fully transparent. But I didn't have that this year for the first time, and I think, obviously, I got a lot going on. I got a kid coming next week, and I got a little girl who's a shade under 2 right now, and all those things. But I got to reflect back and think about my mom, and just all those memories, including, like I was saying, like, going to that Italian restaurant. And I was looking through this book that she made for me, and I got for Christmas, like, 2 weeks before she died, and just how great that is to have this book, and just wrote a little note, the journal I have for her, which I used to always write in the first couple of years, especially the first year after she died, and just how I don't wanna say how little, but less frequently I write in it now. And again, it doesn't mean I've forgotten about her, but it just means that I'm a busier guy, and she's always on my mind, and I talk about that. You guys know that, like my old man said to me, like my dad said to me, a day never went by where he didn't think about his parents, and it's the same. Day hasn't gone by. But the point is, I got my own family now, and I'm trying to build my own thing, and it's just not as pervasive than when I was just a single dude, or when I was living in my parents' house by myself and I had all day to think about it, and I was surrounded by them all the time. So, it's just different, but it's good. Like I said, I felt I had a therapy session on Friday, and I was talking about this with my therapist, and I said, Man, I think I really crossed over to the next level of how I'm dealing with this, because Christmas this year wasn't the first 4 without my parents were just They were sad. Even though I had Brittany and then I had Isla and one of those before, I was like, it was just missing my parents, and it would bring me down, and I'd be thinking about all the memories with them. And I said, this year was different. We were making our own memories, and Isla's almost 2, and she got to actually appreciate the festivities and all that stuff. It all changed. So it's good. It's good. And I'm just hoping that again we can avoid any complications with the baby, because those 13 days in the NICU sucked with Isla, and my mind is so jacked up from what I saw with my parents that when she was in the NICU, my mind went into some very dark places and bad places, and I hate to do that. And I don't know. I just want to be able. We want to be able to take home baby girl number 2. We want to be able to take her home and not have her in the hospital. Let's look at our name update. See if Brittany. Okay, so she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's 6 names on here now. She changes the names in the notes section on the daily. It's almost like they need like a tracker, like the baby Ruther tracker. She's changing it all the time. Just changing it up all the time. So we still don't have a name, but we'll figure it out. I'm looking forward to Isla having a playmate, so I don't have to be doing Ken voices and Barbie voices all the time. Even though I like doing that, I like doing that. Does every dude make Ken flamboyantly gay, or is it just me? Because she's starting to get into Barbie dolls, and now she has 2 Ken dolls. Does everybody make him flamboyantly gay? Because I do. And does every dude make the Barbies just total skanks? Because I do. I make every different Barbie just a total skank, and I make every single Ken just flamboyantly gay. Is that wrong? Is that terrible parenting? Might have to cut that out before she gets too old to be like, what are you doing here, Dad? What are you doing? I might actually enjoy playing with Barbies more than she does because I get to do voices. Yeah, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me who enjoys the Barbies more. I was sending some over to my brother because he bought her. She had a Christmas gift. She got a new Barbie and a new Ken doll. And he's like, I really like when you do that. I'm like, yeah, I do too, man. It's kind of fun. We should play with Barbies. We should do our own voices. Take them away from her. But she'll have somebody to play Barbie with, is what I'm saying, guys. Even though I'm going to want to partake, I'm going to want to join in. Let's do it. Let's do Barbies together. Okay, what am I talking about? Let's leave the hotline number. We got it right here. 859-935-0078. That is the hotline for the Andy Ruther Show. If you want to call and talk about anything, let me know. If you have any parenting advice, guys, I've received some nice DMs about this in the last few months, and I thank you guys for doing that. If you want to call in with a question or a comment or anything you can help with 2 kids or 2 under 2 or whatever it is, I'm here for it, guys. I literally need all the help I can get. Let me know. Any tricks I can learn or any pieces of advice you can give me, things to do, things to stay away from, something you'd recommend. I'm here for it. That's what I'm saying. That's what the hotline's for. 859-935-0078 or just anything. I don't know. Ask me a question about my wildest memory in California. What's my favorite place in the Palisades that just burned down? I don't know. Holla at your boy. But that's the hotline. I'm going to get out of here on that. Thank you guys for listening. Appreciate you watching. Stay safe out there. All my chicos and chicas in California, stay safe. Get out of those fires. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Much love.